Hi everyone, welcome to Facebook Live this morning. Beautiful autumn Sunday morning. I'm Natanya from Monday Morning Cooking Club. This is my daughter Sophie.
Hello.
She's joining me this morning, and today we are going to make the most delicious chocolate coconut macaroons. This is my second batch in a week that I've made. Third batch this Passover or Pesach altogether, because they are so rich with chocolate. You get that from the cocoa, I think, that you add, and squidgy on the inside and crisp on the outside and just yummy and little, so you can just pick and eat them all day long. I don't need to sell them any further. Hopefully you're with me and ready to cook. I just want to say to everyone, happy Easter if you're celebrating Easter today. If not, happy Pesach or Passover. And I hope everyone's doing okay in isolation and keeping happy. Cooking's a good way to help you, and also eating. So let's go. So everyone hopefully has their ingredients in front of them.
Oven.
Oh, thank you. Oven goes on to 175. That's 175, no fan. She'll just do that. Thank you, Soph. And you should also have a baking tray or a biscuit tray with some baking paper on it, ready to go. And if you're ready with that, we will continue. Okay, ingredients this morning. So I've got in my bowl my shredded coconut. So how much have we got?
240 grams.
240 grams or 3 cups of shredded coconut. You don't want the desiccated because it's a little bit too fine. You want to get the nice texture that you get from a shredded coconut. And into that bowl, I'm going to add all my dry ingredients. I've got, thank God I've got Sophie here. Okay, let's stop for a minute before we do that. We're going to start melting our chocolate because we want it to cool. So, into the microwave or double boiler. Yes,
it's 120 grams of dark chocolate.
Yeah, broken up. We're going to do it in stages.
Go through each ingredient.
We're going to do that in stages in the microwave. You don't want to burn it, so don't put it on for 2 minutes and walk away. Sophie's going to do it in lots of 30 seconds, and it will only take a few minutes. Otherwise, on a double boiler, whatever you've got is fine. And while that's happening, I'll just check that you've got all your ingredients ready. So you should have your shredded coconut, which we talked about, 100 grams of almond meal, 2 teaspoons of cocoa, that's unsweetened cocoa. That's what I said adds the beautiful richness to the macaroons. A cup or 230 grams of caster sugar, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I've also got my egg whites ready to whisk. That's 3 egg whites, and I've put my egg yolks aside to do something with later on. Okay, so they're the ingredients. Sophie, you're off doing that. How's everyone going? Oh, someone to say Jess. Hi Jess, nice to have you. Hope you're cooking along.
And Tracy from Western Australia.
And hi Tracy in Western Australia. You're up a little bit earlier than we are today. Lovely to have you. So, what's everyone eating during Passover other than chocolate coconut macaroons? I hope you're doing well. If you need a project, another chocolate project for today, considering it is Easter as well, the flourless brownies are fantastic. That's another recipe in our newest book. That's a good one to make. Otherwise, there is always the chocolate. There's actually about 3 flourless chocolate cakes, and actually many more. If you put all 4 of our books together, there's endless flourless nut or chocolate cakes that you can make during Passover, or the beautiful Easter. If you're not keeping Passover and you want to make an Easter cake, there's a beautiful chocolate cake on our website, the chocolate Easter cake. That's a great one to make today.
Lisa said she's eating way too much matzah with jam.
Yes, me too, Lise. Unfortunately, every morning for breakfast, I can't go past my matzah, cream cheese and apricot jam breakfast, which is also Lisa from Monday Morning Cooking Club's favourite. It's really bad. It's really good. It is so good it's bad because you start eating it and you cannot stop. Anyway, back to our recipe. Sophie's melted the chocolate for us. I hope everyone's with us, and she's just going to put that aside now.
Making sure it's all melted.
Good on you, Sophie. And we are going to add all our dry ingredients together. So in goes the almond meal with the coconut.
How much almond meal was that again?
It was 100 grams.
Hello from Canada. Hi Rita.
Hi Rita, lovely to have you. Hope you're doing okay. And in goes the sugar. I've never done a cook-along before. I've done lots of cooking demos, but never a cook-along. So this is really nice. And it's a really nice thing to have everyone cooking along together. Especially in these times of isolation. Feel like we're a little bit closer together today, which is really nice.
So what's in that bowl again?
Good morning, Janine.
What's in this bowl?
Okay,
What's in the bowl?
the coconut, the almond meal, the sugar, the cocoa, and the salt. All the dry ingredients. And Sophie is going to just mix it up, hopefully without making too much of a mess. Mix it all up. We could have had a slightly
Maybe a
bigger
spoon's
bowl.
better.
Okay, start with that. You just want to have them all incorporated together. So when you add the egg whites and the melted chocolate, it will all mix nicely together. Just get right down to the bottom of the bowl and get everything mixed in. This is one of our quickest, most simple recipes in the book, which really comes together really easily with no, you don't need a mix master, you don't need any equipment other than a spoon and a bowl, which is really nice. It reminds me of the way my grandmother used to cook in the most tiny, tiny little kitchen with no modcon equipment. And what used to come out of that kitchen was amazing feasts every week. So
Someone, Lauren from the USA, said that she made these yesterday and beat the egg whites and sugar a bit much until they were soft peaks, but they still came out perfectly.
oh,
It's a very easy recipe.
it is a really
Difficult to ruin.
That's right. Sorry. Thanks, Lauren, for letting us know that. I've got that all mixed up and ready. So what we're going to do now is beat up the egg whites. And while Sophie's doing that, I did want to tell you, you don't need to mix the sugar into the egg whites. The sugar can go into the dry ingredient bowl. And you don't need to beat the egg whites past, say, a foamy consistency is what you want. You're just loosening up the egg whites, increasing their volume a little bit with a little bit of air getting into it.
And say that you can use the hand.
And yes, you know what, you can use a little hand mixer if you want, or you can just do what Sophie's doing with a whisk, or even just use a fork. You just want to get it to a white, foamy stage where it's increased its volume. You want me to have a go? And it's actually good little arm exercise for the morning.
While we're in isolation.
Exactly. So, okay?
Happy with that?
Yeah, very happy with that. Everyone happy with that? Everyone moving along with us? Just because I'm a control freak, I'll just do about 2 more seconds. Okay.
So why don't you just remind everyone where we're up to?
Okay. So
And anyone cooking along.
we are
Dry.
have all our dry ingredients in the bowl ready to go, and now we're going to mix in our whisked egg whites, and we're going to mix that together. Okay. with the whisk. It seems like a very little amount of liquid to a lot of dry ingredient, but it actually comes together really well, especially with the addition of the melted chocolate. So before we do the melted chocolate, I'm just going to mix in the
Reminder
egg
that
whites.
everyone's chocolate should be melted and ready to go.
Yeah.
If it's not, just quickly do that now.
It doesn't need to be cold, just a little bit off the heat. Okay, so I've mixed in the egg whites about as much as they'll go into this dry, and now we're going to add in,
Just maybe give it 1 second.
okay, just wait for everyone to
Does
catch
anyone
up.
have any questions?
I think it's really okay. You really cannot go wrong with this recipe. As the lady said, that from where was that? Canada? America. That, you know, even though she whisked them to soft peaks and it still worked. So,
And for people who are just jumping on now, like Vanessa, can you just quickly run through what we did?
okay, so Vanessa, what we did was we mixed up our dry ingredients in the bowl, the coconut, the almond milk, the sugar, the salt and the cocoa. I think the cocoa is the secret ingredient in these chocolate macaroons. Sorry to go on about it, but they are such a beautiful flavour, and the cocoa is what does it. Then we whisked up 3 egg whites just till they're foamy and a little bit increased in volume. Added that in, and now we're about to add in our 120 grams of melted dark chocolate. I use 70% dark chocolate, just a cooking chocolate off the supermarket shelf. You can use whatever you have in your pantry. Okay, ready? And you might want to use a spatula to get, and I like to get every last drop of chocolate in it because you want it to be nice and chocolatey. I love cooking with this, so.
Do you want to do it?
Okay, get the last bit out.
And get the tray ready. And don't forget the oven should be on 175 now.
Yeah.
Nearly ready to put them in the oven.
That's 175. In my oven, I do 175, not fan forced. Everyone needs to really know their own ovens, I suppose. But that's how I bake.
Vanessa, there's a list of ingredients on a Facebook post by Monday Morning Cooking Club. So if you scroll down on their Facebook page a little bit, you'll see the list of ingredients there.
You'll also find the recipe, maybe that's easier to use. So if you want to start mixing
Linda
that.
Kugel said, do all of your kids cook in the kitchen with you?
No. No, well, yeah. My son doesn't live at home with me. He's out of home, so he cooks in his own kitchen. And my 2 daughters, Sophie does. My teenage 16-year-old daughter, when she's not in her bedroom, sometimes she's in the kitchen cooking with me. So, it's going well there. Beautiful. Now, it is a bit of a, see, this is why I like to have Sophie here, because this bit, it's a little bit dry and just takes a little tiny little bit of muscle work to mix it all in beautifully, but really not difficult. Doing a great job, Sophie. And then we are going to get ready to spoon them out. I'm just going to move this out of the way. Got my
I suggest
cookie
you
tray.
taste the mixture.
Now you need to wash your hands.
It's very good.
Yeah, I have to say, this mixture makes 60 balls if you don't eat any along the way. But
It kind of tastes like Passover chocolate crackles.
that's
in my
right.
opinion.
Yes, that's what she told me. Sophie wanted to rename this recipe Pesach crackles because they have that familiar flavour to the chocolate crackles that I used to make and that they used to eat when they were kids at kids' parties. Okay. mixed up, ready to go. So now, the recipe says to use teaspoonfuls to put them onto your tray. I have this in my kitchen. It's a cookie scooper. It's a little cookie scooper. I don't know if there's an amount for it.
It's like a tablespoon.
But no, it's less than a tablespoon. I think it's actually a tiny bit less than a teaspoon, or maybe even a teaspoon. But I find it really easy because then you get beautiful uniform shapes all the way along. Sophie prefers to use the teaspoon, so we're going to do, she'll do teaspoon and I'll do scooper, and we'll see how we go.
Lisa prefers to make them a bit bigger, and it only ends up being 40, but I agree. I think if you make them bigger, you get more gooey on the inside.
You do better.
Which is the way to go. And I'm someone who uses my hands.
I love using your hands for this. They get all dirty and chocolatey, and it's just fun. I think it's a really fun activity to do with kids. And this is the best part. You just have to be careful not to squish them so hard, because then you get rocks, and you don't want that. You want to sort of keep them a bit light so you get that chewy squidginess in the middle. So once I scoop it out, I just pat it into shape really gently and put it on my tray. And
does anyone have any final questions before we sign
Wait, I
off
wanted to
to
show.
roll 60 balls?
Oh, and I wanted to say then you cook them in the oven. I think it's.
But Carol says, where is the recipe?
Oh, the recipe, Carol, you'll find in our newest book, Now for Something Sweet, which has just been released.
25.
Page 25. But you will also see the list of ingredients on our Facebook page, Monday Morning Cooking Club, and I think you'll be able to follow on. You'll find this video. You can rewatch this video, and I've told you all the ingredients as we've gone along. So on our Facebook page, you'll find everything you need to know. See. Imagine kids doing this. It's like playing with Play-Doh, but food. It's delicious. And I just wanted to show you with my dirty hands. This is just the leftovers of my last batch, so you can see what they look like when they're cooked. And these ones are a few days old, but they're still crisp on the outside and squidgy on the inside, which is exactly what you want and is what is so delicious about them. So I'm going to eat, and I think that's it. And
how
it's
just
been
how
really
long do
nice.
they cook for?
Oh, is it 11 minutes? I think it is 11 minutes.
15.
Oh, sorry. 15 minutes. And we cook these to exactly 15 minutes. And I think when you take them out, you may think, no, they're not done, because they're a little bit soft. But they will, as they cool, they harden up on the outside, and then you get that beautiful, slightly soft inside, which is exactly what you want in a macaroon. So thanks everyone so much for joining us today and for following along. We've loved having you. Hope you have a great day. Hope you cook your macaroons. We would love to see them. Please post your pictures on Instagram or Facebook so we can see how you went with them, and let us know how much you enjoy them. It's been really nice doing this morning. Thank you so much. Thanks Sophie for cooking along with me. What are we making next, doll? Let's think about lunch. See you. Bye.